welcome back to the channel, guys. Here with another brand new video. If you haven't yet, please make sure you like and subscribe. It helps me a ton. Drop a comment down below. I know I haven't been posting so much lately, but it's just I've been really busy with work and family, and just a lot has been going on in my life, and I've been really busy. But today, this morning, was just a like what I thought could turn into what I thought I could walk away from right away and not turn back, ended up turning into something just awful. Just I've never been in this situation before, and those that are new to this channel and don't know me well, I am a gun guy. I do have my permit to carry, and I do carry with me at all times. But just happened today that I decided to not carry. I just left my gun right there while I got off to go and get my Dunkin', and I don't even know how to start it. So I left my gun in the truck. It was just a quick, get off the truck, go get your Dunkin', your breakfast, my coffee, walk out, head on out, start driving, go down to your delivery. So I ordered my Dunkin' through my app. This happened in St. Peter, Minnesota. It was right by Mankato, Minnesota. There's a Dunkin' there, and me and my brother actually always stop there to get breakfast. The highway, and then you take a left to go to the Dunkin', and there's a small street, and then it comes to a T intersection. You can take a left or right. You obviously have to take a right, and then another right to hop back onto the highway. So when we get off the highway and you take that left to that first street, we park alongside the curb right there, because the Dunkin' is literally on the left side, right next to that curb. So we usually park there, and this time, unfortunately, there was two cars on that side of the curb, and there was another car on the other side of the curb, so I couldn't park on either side. So what I ended up doing is I went in front of the car on the right side of the curb, and I parked basically kitty corner to a abandoned, from what it seemed to me, an abandoned brick building, old building. I parked right next to like three cars, but like I said, the building looked abandoned, and I was just gonna be in and out. Like it was gonna be a quick, easy turnaround. I'll drop the video here as well, so you guys can see where is it that I exactly park.
Toward South Front Street. Turn right onto South Front Street.
So y'all get a better idea of where I was actually at. And I actually had my hazards on as well. So what happened? I parked, put my hazards on, went inside, grabbed my Dunkin'. I was walking outside, and as I was walking outside, it's like a little strip mall there with like 3 stores and the Dunkin'. So I was walking along the one side of along the front side of the building, of the little strip mall or whatever you want to call it. And I got to the last store, and as soon as I passed that last store, obviously there's the corner of the building, and I see these two guys pull up right like in front of me. So like basically like, when you turn around a corner and you run into someone, you're like, oh shoot, like my bad, sorry, excuse me. That's basically what happened with me. So I had my coffee in one hand, I had my sandwich and my donut in the other hand, and I run into these two guys. It was an older man, probably in his late 50s, and the other man was like in his late 30s, I would say. And the guy that seemed like in the late 30s, the younger dude, just all of a sudden asked me, "Is that your fucking truck parked there?" He asked me in a screaming, like yelling at the top of his lungs type of way, like crazy. I couldn't even believe what he was asking me and how he was asking me. I just couldn't believe it. So I'm like, yeah, that's my truck. I'm like, I just went to get coffee and I'm going to my truck. I'm moving. And he didn't even let me speak. Like, as soon as he heard yes to me answering his question, he went off. He started cussing at me. He started telling me that why the fuck am I parked in his business, that I'm blocking his fucking people, that it's blocking his fucking business, that I need to get the fuck out, that who do I think I am, and like just going crazy at me, cussing at me and waving his hands in the air, being this drama queen. And I'm just like, dude, like, what the fuck? Like, chill the fuck out. Like, I'm going to my truck. As you can see, I just went inside, not even 5 minutes, to grab my food, and I'm leaving. Like, I'm heading out. Like, chill out. So then he starts, like, throwing his body at me. Like trying to make me flinch, trying to make me scared. Like, if he's gonna, like, beat my ass. Like... And then I got the older guy like laughing in the background, like just because like I wasn't really doing anything, like I was just like, okay, like whatever. So right? I started walking, and this dude walks with me and just keeps bitching and cussing at me and just going off at me like non-stop. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and this whole time I had my earbud. My AirPod, and I was on the phone with my brother. I was on a three-way call. I was on the phone with my brother and my buddy Rakeem. So they heard everything. Like, they were listening. It's like they walked into a movie theater and like the movie was already rolling. Like that's how it was. So this whole time they were listening to everything and they heard everything. So start walking back to my truck, and this guy's going off at me, and I get tired of it. I don't deal with disrespect. Like, you could have asked me nicely to move. You clearly seen that I was walking back to my truck with my hands full. Like, you clearly should have thought to yourself, oh, he went to grab his breakfast, like he's gonna move his truck now. Like, okay, cool. And you could have just asked me politely, hey, can you please move your truck? I'm trying to move, or I'm trying to get out of here, or something. But don't come at me and disrespect me just because. So we get to the back of my trailer, and this guy is still on me, and the old guy is right behind me, but the other guy that keeps yelling is right next to me, right? So I started yelling back at him, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I dropped my stuff on the ground, and I'm like, come on, you want to scrap? Like, you want to fight? Like, let's go. 2 against 1. Come on, motherfucker, let's go. Dude, literally, the old guy backed away. The other dude came at me and like went like this, like he raised his fist, right? And just like basically like kind of threw himself at me, but he didn't do shit. Like, so I was like, okay, like you clearly don't want to fight, like, but you're over here being a little bitch and like just snapping for no reason, but you're all talk basically, no show. So this guy, as soon as he like throws himself at me, the old guy, he kind of like backed away, but like the guy that threw himself at me was to my left, and the old guy was to like my right. And as soon as this guy like threw himself at me, I seen like on my right side that the old guy started walking around me towards my back. So I think this guy wanted to go around from behind me, since he wasn't gonna fucking do shit to me, but he wanted to go around behind me to grab me so this other dumbass could start swinging at me. So as soon as I seen that he was approaching me from behind. I turned around and I pushed his ass. I pushed him so hard, he fell to the ground and his glasses flew from his face. I didn't want to sock him. I didn't want to hurt the guy because the guy was just following this other idiot's steps. Like this, I mean, he was in the wrong too, because he could have told the other idiot to calm down. But I didn't want to hurt an old guy. So I pushed him hard enough where he backed away completely. And then this other guy, as soon as I pushed the old guy, he lit up. Oh, that was the spark right there. So what this guy did, he tried coming at me right away, but he swung and missed. So what I did, I pushed him hard. I didn't swing at him because these guys to me looked like they were just like, I just felt bad for these two guys, like from the get-go. Like that's how I looked at these guys. I feel bad for you guys. So what I did, I pushed this dude hard, and so hard that his glasses flew as well, and his phone flew as well, because this other dude had his phone in his hand. So when that happened and I pushed him and he flew, he fell. So when he fell and started picking up his stuff, he started like mumbling words, and then I heard loud and clear, and even my brother and Rakeem heard over the phone. He said, "I'm going to go get my gun," and then ran inside this abandoned building. There's like no windows, like you can't even see. He like ran through this one door inside, and I heard him say, "I'm going to go get my gun." As soon as I heard that, I ran to my truck. I was on the passenger rear side of my trailer. I went around back of my trailer towards the driver's side, ran alongside my trailer up to my truck. My truck was locked because I hadn't been able to get back to my truck. I was, going to get my Dunkin'. So I'm running to my truck because I don't have my gun with me. And this guy just literally threatened me with a gun. So I'm running to my truck, trying to get the keys out of my clip right here, because I have my keys clipped. And I have to obviously open it with the key. So I'm running, unclipping my keys, and as soon as I get to my door, put the key in, turn the key, and reach for my gun. And I swear, as soon as I inserted my key into my door, I literally looked back to see if someone was following me, to see if they had beat me to it and they were right behind me with the gun or something. So much was running through my head, that I was scared. I honestly was scared because there was literally nobody around. It was daylight, but once again, we're on this street that's alone. There's no one there. It was just alone. So the only thing I'm wanting to get is my gun, and of course my gun is right under my dash, as you guys seen prior. So I opened my door, I look back, nobody's behind me, which is good. I reach for my gun, I cock my gun, I close my door, I lock my door, I cock the gun, and I have one in the chamber ready to go. So then I see the old guy walking in front of the truck, and I'm just oh shit. I went to the back first just in case, and I was peeking to see if he was the one that had the gun, or I don't know. I was just peeking to see what he was doing, but what he was doing was recording me with his phone. He started recording me with his phone. When his son or whatever the other dude was to him was the one that threatened me with the gun. And here he comes out and records me with the phone. So, when I was inside my truck and this guy was recording me with my phone, I don't know what happened, but my brother and Rakeem were trying to I heard them hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And obviously I'm over here with adrenaline rush, not knowing what to say, my heart's beating fast, I can't catch my breath, I'm just in go mode. Like, I couldn't say anything. I just froze. Like, I was just ready. So my brother ended up calling the cops. He beat me to it. He called the cops, and as soon as he said he called the cops, I called the cops again, and I told them exactly where I was at, and they sent 3 cops right away. They got there ASAP. Like, it wasn't even a minute, and they pulled up, and one guy got out of his car, went over to the old guy, and then the other 2 came up to me, and I started, explaining what I just explained to you guys, and the guy was like, the cop was like, okay, well, let me go talk to them, and then I'll come right back. So he went to go and talk to them, then he came back to me, and he says that the guy never said he was going to go get his gun. That he said he was going to go get his phone, but he had his phone in his hand. The only thing that happened is that when I pushed him, his phone flew out of his hand, but I seen him grab his phone and his glasses, and when he did that, then after was when he said, I'm going to go get my gun. So there is no way you said you were going to go get your phone. And not only that, but I had 2 witnesses on the phone. They actually heard it, because if they didn't hear it, they wouldn't have called the cops. And they called the cops for me before I did, because they knew right away, immediately, that I was in danger, because they heard, I'm going to go get my gun. So yes, I could have gone in my truck, started it up, taken off, but it takes a while for that to happen. Like, in order to start it, you turn the key on, you gotta wait a couple seconds, then you press the button to start the truck, then you gotta put the air brakes in, you gotta wait for those fuckers to release, then you gotta put the gear in. Once you put the gear in, then you can take off. I'm gonna be taking off like a slow turtle, because I am really heavy. But, I mean, yes, I could have taken off, but my first instinct was just to go get my gun. Like, I needed to go grab my gun, because this guy was going to go get his gun. And that's the only thing that I had on my mind. Just go grab your gun and protect yourself. And that's what I did. And I stood ground, and luckily I was, okay, and nothing happened. But it did scare the crap out of me, I'll tell you that. I've never been put before in that situation. I have been in fights before, but I've never been in this situation where someone said, I'm going to go get my gun. And man, I was scared. I was scared, because I was like, fuck, I am literally not strapped when I should be strapped. And I always am strapped, but right now, like I said, I got off quick, went to go get my breakfast, and came back in. I didn't think anything of it. And yeah, that could have been a bad one. A real, real bad one. So the cop also told me that if I wanted to press charges, I could, but that they could have pressed charges as well, because there was, the pushing and shoving and blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, we both pushed. I mean, I guess one of them pushed me, which was the old guy. Kind of not shoved me, basically, not pushed me, like shoved me with his shoulder, but I don't want to go through all that BS, courts and losing work and just dumping money, and I was just like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, I don't need to press charges. I just want to get on my way and go and do my delivery, and that is it. So that is what I ended up doing. I ended up just taking off and continued with my load, and yeah. But man, out here on the road, man, it is a whole nother world. You don't know who you're gonna run into, and you better be ready, because you never know what can happen. And this is exactly why I say, always say and kiss goodbye to your loved ones when you leave the house, because you never know if you're going to come back. Every single day I walk out of that house, I don't know if I'm going to make it back. because you just never know. You never know. In this industry, you just never know. I guess not even in this industry, just in general. Anything can happen anywhere. Like, don't leave your house without saying goodbye and a kiss to your loved ones, because you never know. You never know. For those of you that don't know what I'm carrying, I carry a Hellcat Springfield. I think it's a micro, and I got a laser on it. It's engraved. It's a nice piece. My buddy engraved it for me. I'll show you guys. This is what I've been carrying, guys, right here. The mag is fully engraved as well, with my daughter's initials on it on the back. I got my girl's name on top and my daughter's name up here as well. Check out the barrel, guys. It's got a semi on it. Well, guys, that is it for story time. If you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. I never would have thought we would have gotten to like 4,000 subscribers. Let's keep going, and make sure you hit the bell for notifications for when I post, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. I think the next video is going to be about guns, because I just got 2 brand new guns that I need to do like an unboxing video and a shooting, and just like just a review on the gun itself, on both of them. Well, actually, no, on 3 of them. So make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next upload. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.